welcome back to BeyondCe. It stays on. So today we are going to be talking about a fun topic. It's about music, actually, and we're going to be talking about the verses that's supposed to be coming up, where it's Monica versus Brandy. Now, I feel like everybody has been waiting for like forever and a day for something like this to happen. Obviously, I don't feel like we expected it to be like a versus, but I'm not mad at it at all. Like, at all. Because I like listening to Monica's music, and I like listening to Brandy's music as well. So with the verses, if there's anybody that has never watched one of them before, they normally have it either on Instagram or on Apple Music. And basically what it is two artists that get a chance to kind of battle each other with, I would say, like 10 to 20 songs. And then, people in the comment section, they kind of decide who wins in a way. And at the same time, it gives it an opportunity for the artists to like discuss things with each other. And we kind of see like their personality on a different level. Considering how COVID-19 has it's affected the way that concerts are and shows are. This is like a creative way that I believe it was Timbaland and Swiss Beats that they actually created, and they're actually probably making a ton of fucking money for artists to still showcase their music, make money, have a good time, really connect with their fans, and it just seems like a good atmosphere overall. So for Monica and Brandy, Monica recently has been like in the news, and it hasn't necessarily been for like her music. It's more so been for C Murder. He is a rapper that was with No Limit, and he was arrested, and she's trying to help him get out. She's kind of had the help from Kim Kardashian and I believe Lala. So it's a little bit different why she's been in the limelight lately. And then Brandy, I believe she released an album, let me see, on July 31st of this year. And also Moesha, is actually streaming on Netflix right now. And when I tell y'all, I've been watching it like crazy. I kind of had slowed down for a little bit, but when my family was in town earlier this month, I feel like me and my niece were watching the episode like every single day. Now, side note, dealing with Moesha, I kind of feel like watching it, the older I am, I'm like, damn, they slick had Brandy being like mean as hell to Kim. But that's another story for a different day. We're going to talk about 90s TV shows one day. It's just not going to be this episode. I was just kind of like, that threw me off guard. And then the dad was like, an asshole slick. But okay, off topic, on topic, whatever. So yeah, they've both been in the, recently been like the spotlight kind of when it comes to music and other things that aren't related to music. So what I want to talk about actually is some of the songs that they may possibly be doing. So what Apple had did is they made a cheat sheet. And on the cheat sheet, it has like a list of Brandy songs, a list of Monica songs. And I'm gonna talk to y'all about them. I'm kind of curious how when the verses actually happens on the 31st, what songs they would actually end up choosing. Because like, for me, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I feel like Monica is gonna end up winning. But I think that's because I actually relate a little bit more to her music than I do to Brandy's. Not saying I don't like Brandy's music, because I do. However, I know for a fact, like, I'm quick to go to like a Monica song, I feel like, compared to like a Brandy song. So let me get this pulled up real quick. Hold on a sec. Have you guys not heard of Anchor yet? Like, Anchor is the best thing in life. I recently started recording a podcast, and I realized that Anchor was the best way to get it set up. It's free. You have creative tools. That way you can actually record from your phone. You can edit it from your phone. Or if you need to record from your computer, you can. You also can distribute it to all of the different types of platforms, such as Spotify, Apple, and more. And at the same time, you'll be making money from your podcast too, just from simply using this app. It's the easiest thing in life, and I would always advise for anybody to use it if they're planning on branching out and actually making a podcast and having their voice heard. Okay, so I got it pulled up. So the first song that they got up that may be like a possible song that Brandy plays is this song called Baby. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I ain't never listened to it before. I had just looked it up before I started to film this. And I was like, okay, it's all right, it's straight. But then the next song was Monica's song, and it's Why I Love You So Much. Now, I know that song. I'm like, okay, I see you, sis. Like, I could work with some Monica with that one. And then afterwards, they decided to put Brandy Sitting Up in My Room. Now, that song is from Waiting to Exhale. And if anybody knows me, knows that I love me some Waiting to Exhale movie, because I got Whitney Houston in it. And who is it? Leela Rashawn, I think Loretta Devine, and Angela Bassett, however you pronounce her name. That was a good ass movie. My mama used to stay playing it all the time. Like, that gave me, Waiting to Exhale is about equivalent to Set It Off for me when it comes to like good black movies. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so after it says, after Sitting Up in a Room, they got Before You Walk Out of My Life. Oh my gosh. I'm like, damn, I was just listening to this the other day. Like, I was trying to prepare myself for the verses. I was like, let me, kind of get this set up real quick and do like a hypothetical songs I know that Monica or Brandy would choose. And one of the songs I first played was Before You Walk Out of My Life. So for me, already, it's kind of looking like Monica's winning in my book. Because I'm like, okay, 2 for Monica and 0 for Brandy right now. Now, I don't know, man, Sitting Up in My Room compared to Before You Walk Out of My Life. Nah, I'm going to have to choose Before You Walk Out of My Life. And then the next one they put up is Best Friend compared to Don't Take It Personal. I got to go with Don't Take It Personal. And I hate to be like that, but I'm like, damn. Like, I literally don't take, I was about to try and sing, but y'all ain't about to talk about me. Y'all might hear it when I get the So Gone, but for now, we just going to talk about Don't Take It Personal. However, when it comes to the next 2 songs that I Want to Be Down / Get Down, I'm definitely going to have to choose I Want to Be Down because I've never even heard Get Down before from Monica. They got Always on My Mind versus The First Night. I got to pick The First Night for that one. The beat was good, and I don't even remember Always on My Mind. And then they have You Don't Know Me Like You Used To. That's by Brandy. And For You, I Will. I'm going to choose For You, I Will, because when I listened to You Don't Know Me Like You Used To, I didn't like that song that much. Like, I don't know, I wasn't feeling it. Then This Almost Doesn't Count compared to Street Symphony. Now, I've heard so many different people talk about how Street Symphony is such a good song, and it's straight, but Almost Doesn't Count. Like, I feel like I could relate to that song more compared to the song from Monica. Top of the World, Ring the Bell. I gotta go with Top of the World. Angel in Disguise, Angel of Mine. Angel of Mine is a must. Have You Ever So Gone? Oh, that's tough. Because Have You Ever was a really good song by Brandy. But So Gone, I was literally talking to my sister about the verses the other day. And I was like, started rapping Monica's part where it's like, I'm a rowdy chick. Sometimes I have to fight because my mouth too slick. Baby, why you do me like I ain't worth shit? So I'm gonna have to go with Monica. Like, that song, I don't know what she was going through when she wrote that song or whoever wrote it, but I was like, oh my gosh, like, this makes somebody break windows and slash tires and all this extra shit. So that's what I'm saying. At this point in time, I feel like Monica is gonna win. That's just my feeling when it comes to the whole situation. Don't shoot the messenger. And if you guys feel like Brandy is gonna win, then you can reach out to me via like Instagram and let me know some of her songs that you like. Monica don't stand a chance, and we could talk about it. Now, when it comes to the verses, because that's like the main topic of this podcast, besides Brandy and Monica, obviously, I feel like the verses is becoming the new concert venue, and at least considering like with COVID-19 right now, I'll say that, because like I said earlier, artists realistically, they're not really able to work right now, which is why it's always best to have multiple sources of income, which I feel like a lot of artists are realizing this, but it may be too late. However, with concerts, when they were doing tours and stuff like that, they were bringing, like, concerts bringing a lot of money. I've been to a few concerts in my life, and the price range of the tickets can range from okay, well, I'll say the prices that I pay for tickets range from like $100 and some to like $350 that I paid before for a concert ticket. So when you look at that times the amount of people who are there, as well as merchandise, which they sell merchandise for like $50 and $60. Then you gotta also look at like, okay, well, if somebody wants to pay to go backstage, I don't even know how much fucking money they're gonna pay for that, but it's gonna be a lot. So with that being said, when artists go on tour, they make a killing. Like, literally, they make a ton of money, especially if they go on go to a lot of different cities, or if they end up extending it and going to more cities. Oh my gosh, these artists, like, true enough, they be tired, they're away from their family, but at the same time, they make a ton of money. So picture not being able to go to do your tours at this point in time, and you might have just released an album. Like, you're not going to make the amount of money that you thought you were going to make. So with that being said, Versus kind of seem like it's a new concert venue. You're like, artists, they're able to perform basically in a studio versus another artist, and at the same time, it kind of seems like they're a little bit more relaxed because they might be in the comfort of their own home, or like I said, they might be in the studio. And then they got to be making some money. Like, Timbaland and Swiss Beats are the ones that orchestrated this. So I feel like they had to have it where, like, the artists are going to make a substantial amount of money from it. Not enough from a concert or from a tour. However, at the same time, like, they're putting this on Instagram, which is a very large platform, as well as Apple Music. So when you really think about that, like, no wonder some of these artists are like, yeah, I'll do a Versus. Like, sure, what you need me to do, when you want me to do it. And I'm curious whether you guys have actually enjoyed the Versus, or have you never even watched them. Now, I haven't watched all of the Versus, but I have watched some, and I'm about to pull up the list of some of the Versus that have occurred so we can talk about it. Okay, so with the Versus, one of the ones that has occurred was The Dream versus Sean Garrett. I'm like, spit it out, say. The Dream versus Sean Garrett. I didn't get an opportunity to watch that one, but I know it was really good because The Dream and Sean Garrett, they both have produced a lot of music, as well as they also have made music themselves. So I feel like that was a good choice. They had Jagged Edge versus 112. I'll be honest, I didn't want to watch that shit. I like Jagged Edge's 112, but not enough to actually sit down and watch them on Instagram. Now, I feel like some of their choices have been smart when it comes to like the Verses, and other ones I'm kind of like, y'all could have did without this. French Montana versus Tory Lanez. I kind of feel like that was on Tory Lanez quarantine. Yeah, that was on Tory Lanez quarantine radio, and he could have kept that. Manny Fresh versus Scott Storch. I didn't watch that one either. And I kind of wish I would have, because I would have been curious to see what music that they would actually chose. Let me see. Neo versus Jonte Austin. I didn't watch that one either. No, it was good because Neo, once again, he's wrote songs for artists, as well as Jonte Austin. But then they also have made great music for themselves. So I'm going to have to rewatch that one if I can have the opportunity to do so. Fabulous versus Jadakiss. Both of them was lit. I think one was tipsy and the other one was high. So it was just like, it was a chill vibe, but not enough for me to be like, okay, I'm going to keep watching this like the whole time. Babyface versus Teddy Riley. Lord, with that, Teddy Riley was doing entirely too much in the first attempt at the Versus, and Babyface was just chilling. And then finally Teddy Riley kind of got it together. But overall, I feel like Babyface won without a doubt. And then Ludacris versus Nelly. Now, I watched this one. I think I was like on FaceTime with one of my friends actually when I watched it. That shit was so much fun. Nelly's connection was like fucking terrible. However, Ludacris had the hit list. And I mean, Y'all don't know me like that, but you know me like that enough to know that I love me some Ludacris. So between Ludacris and Nelly, I feel like Ludacris won, and especially because he actually had his stuff together. Not only that, I actually found out that they were supposed to they had a song together, but they never released it. Nelly was supposed to be on the remix of Moneymaker, but they never ended up releasing the song. T-Pain versus Lil Jon. I wish I would have had the opportunity to watch that. I kind of feel like with some of these verses that it wasn't properly promoted because I don't remember all of these occurring. Or maybe I just wasn't paying attention myself, but I know that was a good one. Fred Hammond versus Kirk Franklin. I didn't watch this. I know I sound like a heathen, but I actually would have liked to watch that one. So I'm like, where was I? Alicia Keys versus John Legend. But with that one, that was on Juneteenth, I believe. And I remember I was out of town, so I didn't get the opportunity to watch it. But I don't know, that would have been kind of weird. And I like Alicia Keys and John Legend, don't get me wrong. But I don't know. I feel like it would have been like just slow. Beanie Man versus Bounty Killer. I remember Beanie Man was getting it with the dance because they made him into a meme. And then Snoop versus DMX, that just happened recently. And it seemed like it was like a chill vibe. They both were having a good time with each other. And Swiss Beats versus Timbaland. I think that's what started originally. I wish I would have got a chance to watch it because I know they both have made some great hits. And Erykah Badu versus Jill Scott. Now, I got an opportunity to watch that one. And you know how, like, people are, like, good people, but you don't realize how sweet they are until you actually kind of see, like, their interaction. That's how I felt about Jill Scott. Like, I was like, wow, Jill Scott just seems like she's, like, just really nice. Like, seemed like it was, like, so much love being shown between the two. And Erykah Badu was, like, chill as fuck, which I'm always here for. But it just was a good atmosphere. And I'm hoping that it will be the same thing when it comes to Brandy and Monica. I'll find out obviously on the 31st when it comes out, and hopefully you guys will be watching it too. But I'm trying to think I can't even think which one was the best one. Actually, I would say Ludacris versus Nelly for me, because I think I watched that one fully, and I've always liked Ludacris as an artist, and he didn't disappoint me when it came to what he played. And then I feel like I heard a few songs that I didn't even know that I had heard before. For the worst, I would say, that is tough, because I didn't even watch all of these. So for the ones that I did watch, I say Babyface versus Teddy Riley, because the first one, because Teddy Riley couldn't get it together, and I wish he would have been able to. Or recently, I just thought about it, 2 Chainz and Rick Ross had one. 2 Chainz brought out strippers and threw money at them. It was just, I don't know. It was straight, because I'm pretty sure it was probably for, I love them strippers. But theirs was kind of awkward. And I didn't realize how many hits that Rick Ross has actually had until I watched that. I'm not sure what verses I would want to see next. You know, I would love to see one, obviously, with, like, BeyondCe, but I don't know who would go against her. And I definitely would love to see one with Usher, for sure. Chris Brown, Rihanna, who else? I'm trying to think. Because there's a lot of artists that have, like, a long-standing career, and I feel like should have the opportunity to showcase their music on Instagram, as well as, like, get a bag real quick. So I'm curious to see who they would actually choose. So now I'm gonna be honest with y'all though, if the verses keep occurring and concerts never happen again, I'm curious whether they're gonna actually start charging people to see it. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to pay to see y'all performing y'all like house or whatever. Like, I don't know. It gotta be like an artist that I really would want to see, because, like, to me personally, for concerts, it is a totally different atmosphere compared obviously to the verses. And I mean, that's realistic. With a concert, like I said earlier, like, you know, you're in a venue, you can get merchandise, you're getting an opportunity to see like an artist that you've listened to for possibly like forever, and that you're like, oh my gosh, they look amazing. Oh my gosh, their voice sounds better in person than it sounds on the record. Like, you know, stuff like that. And it's just like being in that moment. And a lot of times you get to go with friends. So like you and your friends are sharing a moment in itself. And it's just like a beautiful thing. Like, honestly, to go to a concert is so much fun. You have a great time. Like, it feels like the money that you spent was worth it. And a lot of times, like for me personally, after I would go to like a concert, we would go out, we would have a lot of fun. Like the whole weekend would be fun, and you would still be living off that high from actually getting to see an artist that you like possibly may look up to, or, you know, like I said, you really love their music. So compared to if a concert or tours never really return, which I highly doubt that's going to happen. I feel like I'm hoping that COVID would die down soon, or at least if concerts do come back, there is something that is set up in a way to protect everybody. But if for some reason that it isn't, then I feel like they're going to have to think of I would say a little bit more of a creative way so artists can make money by performing, which I feel like a lot of people will be able to think of something like that. However, I feel like right now, the Versus is a good option for us to still be able to hear music and see artists that we actually like, and kind of see them in their like comfort zone a little bit. So I'm excited to see Brandy and Monica perform on the 31st. I think that's a Monday. And I can't wait to see who else they end up choosing eventually, as well as like other different things that they may come up with and create. But I'm going to go ahead and end this podcast on this note. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. You can tell I'm used to filming stuff on YouTube. But I hope you guys enjoyed listening to me about this topic. And I hope that everybody has an amazing day. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Let me know different topics that you want to hear so that we can discuss. Send me questions if you want me to answer some questions on this podcast. I will.